Hey, it's Colleen with Rope Resellers. I'm here for a weekly sales update of what I sold on eBay and Amazon merch for the week of May 20th through the 26th, 2019. 14 things sold this week, and I'm only going to show you the most interesting ones, so that's about 8 of them. First thing was an Old Spice Lime Aftershave Cologne gift set. I guess there is a market for vintage Old Spice, which I did not even realize. And this had some damage. It looked like it leaked at one point and the box had some wear, but it sold for full price, $49.99. I collected $59.05. Spent about $3 on this at an estate sale. $7.41 in eBay, PayPal fees. $9.06 in shipping for a total profit of $39.58, and it took a week to sell. So don't forget to look in the bathroom in your estate sales. Here's another sword from my father's estate. I realize you guys are not going to have access to swords for the most part, but if they are genuine, and this is a German one, I do believe this is from World War I or II, they can be worth money. $175 someone offered me, so I took it. I collected $190.59. I didn't spend any money on this. $23.27 in fees, $15.13 to ship. Total profit $152.19, and it took a week to sell. Vintage starter jacket, $124.99. It sold right away. $159.08 is what I collected. $17.50 is what I spent on this at a garage sale. $19.72 in eBay, PayPal fees, $37.49 in shipping. This went to Canada. $84.37 is my total profit on it, and it only took a day to sell. Now, what made this valuable, you'll look online, there weren't that many, but this was brand new. So it had never been worn or used. This guy had a bunch of them, and if I were smart and savvy and thought about it, I would have left him my card and said, hey, whatever you don't sell, go ahead and give me a call, and I will make you a deal on the rest. But not all of them were new. Vintage embroidery hoop. I only bring this up. I didn't make much money on it. I sold it for $7.50, collected $10.26, and my profit was $5.46. It took six weeks to sell, but just this was in a random lot of stuff from an auction. I mean, it was literally something I was just going to donate, and it took me so little time to just throw it in the mix and put it up there. It probably took me 5 minutes to list this thing. I didn't have to do anything but measure it. That was it. And boom, I made $5. So sometimes stuff that you're just going to get rid of can be worth listing, even if it's low dollar amounts. Now I bring this up. It's not a ton of money, $19.99 for a Cricut Create a Critter cartridge and the overlay. I bought a giant thing, and you'll see over the next couple weeks, I'm sure, stuff start to go out the door. But it had a ton of these cartridges and the manual and the overlay all in a big box. So what I decided to do was take out some of the cartridges, leave 5 cartridges there, and then the actual machine, it's a big machine, I have listed right now. And hopefully I'll make a majority of my money from that. I've spent $10 on the whole thing at a rummage sale last year. I just haven't listed it. My daughter was playing around with it and making cards and making money with it, but we found her a replacement machine that takes a lot less volume. So anyway, I decided to break this apart and sell it. With this first cartridge that I sold, I made back my money. So $19.99 is what it sold for. $23.21 is what I collected. I just broke it out and said I spent about $1 on it. And my total profit, $15.90. It only took a day to sell. So these actually are selling pretty good for me. This also was a low dollar amount, but I just wanted to point this out. This is part of that school lot that I got from my kids' school. My son came home with a giant bin from the tech lab, and I said, oh, I bet I could sell those for you guys and, give you some of the money back. So he brought them, and there were 25, and one of them didn't work, so I tossed that one out. Somebody contacted me the other day and said, would you sell all of them? Because I think I had like 20 available, and I go, yeah, let me go count them. My son just tested all of them. So I told him there were 24. I gave him a deal, $5 each, and he bought the whole lot. So I think there's schools out there or organizations where they have these computers and they don't have the power supplies or whatever, or they need extra ones or things break. So he bought 24 of them for $5 each. So I collected $134 because I quoted him for $14 in shipping. He went for it. I paid the school $32 for this big bin of chargers. So at the time, I thought it was quite a bit of money. But when all said and done, and I shipped it FedEx, it was $68.45 was my total profit, and it only took 2 months, and they are all out of here. So that was great. Acid wash jeans. These are Lee's. That's a popular vintage brand. I have my Sizely up there. Those guys are great. I have a link down below how to use their templates. They have free ones as well as a monthly subscription, which is what I have, and I use them all the time. I just think it adds a level of professionalism. Yeah, it takes a little bit extra, but I have had 0 questions about measurements or anything. So I can't say enough about them. This sold for $14.99. I collected $22.24. I spent about $1 on this at an estate sale, and my total profit was $11.52. It took 2 weeks to sell. So these vintage high-waisted acid wash jeans are popular with the teenage crowd. Peanuts gang sheets. This is probably one of the better sheet sets I've ever found. Usually the bottom sheet is trashed and faded and pilled, and this was still in really pretty great shape. So I grabbed it out of the closet, same estate sale as the aftershave lotion and the Lee jeans. I sold it for $64.99 and I collected $96.89. This went to Japan. They contacted me. I'll sell to Japan directly because I know it's a safe country and their mail system's quite good. So I just sent it to them in a legal envelope. And I spent about $3 on this sheet set. So my total profit was $50.78, and it only took a week to sell. So some of these Snoopy sheets do well. Some of them are a little more generic. This one, it was a little more rare, so it was worth more. Canon, this is the last thing I'm going to show you, is Zoom 8 vintage camera. It's wind up. I've had it for a while, but it finally sold for $37.99. I collected $47.11. I spent $5.50 on this at an auction, so my total profit was $28.09, and it took 13 months to sell. I definitely do not buy this stuff, even though that's pretty decent money. I had it 5% off, but I don't know. It's kind of a pain to ship, and it really doesn't sell very fast for me. So looking at the numbers, $574.39 is what everything sold for. I collected $835.35. 2 things went overseas, so those shipping items were a little bit higher. $67.75, mostly on those power cords and on the starter jacket. $102.96 in eBay, PayPal fees, $150 in shipping. So my total profit was $514.05, which is great. I wish I could do that every week. Amazon merch, I sold 79 shirts. I had a popular shirt up this week. It's dropped significantly. I don't think I've even sold any today. So that was a flash in the pan, but I'm grateful because I made $285.50 last week. So my total e-commerce, $799.55. So I'd call that a home run week. And I think a couple different things contributed to it. Obviously, the swords from my dad's estate. So, but discrediting that, I made some savvy purchases and I got some good sales this week. So further proof that if you are listing things that people want to buy and you can find, a couple home runs a week, it can really add up and add to your bottom line. So I would say go ahead and keep going to garage sales, because I found that one starter jacket, and at the time I was thinking, oh my gosh, he wants $20 a piece, I think, and I offered him $35 for 2, so I still have another one listed. And I was thinking, oh, that's a lot of money. But then I looked it up and I knew I was going to get around $100 for it. And so after fees and everything, I was still going to come out over $50, which I'm trying to have a price point of $40 just because there's still this move potential. And so I don't want to be buying a bunch of stuff that I'm going to have to move. So I just figured, why not just try to up my game and be smarter about the things that I buy and buy a lot less things. I have plenty of things around here that I can list, so that's my main objective. That's also the thing that's motivating me, because when you find a good score at a garage sale or an estate sale, it definitely helps to get you to want to take pictures and list it. So with that, I hope you guys are finding lots of great stuff in this season. I want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. Thanks for all of you who have been in the military or who had relatives or have relatives in the military. I really appreciate your service, and it's something that I never did, and I didn't have. My father served, but he was drafted for 2 years, so it wasn't exactly by choice, and luckily for him it came after the Korean War and before the Vietnam War, so he was kind of that in-between generation. I applaud your courage, and with that, have a good holiday, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.